So, the big question that everyone's talking about. Who won? David Spam or Ed Miliband? Did Cameron charm the public enough? Was Miliband hell-yang enough for everyone? Did you see that seconds after they'd finished, there was a snap poll which gave Cameron 54% and Miliband 46%? Now bear in mind that a snap poll is by its very nature a snapshot of people's thoughts just after proceedings. A little while later, another poll came in, I think it was a YouGov poll, saying that Cameron had 51% and Miliband 49%. This wasn't a snap poll, it wasn't taken right at the end of the debate in a rush, it was taken after people had time to digest their thoughts on the debate, have a little time to mull over what was said, but Sky News in their infinite wisdom just dismissed that poll as not the real one. The real poll was obviously the snap poll, because it put Cameron ahead. You gotta love the mainstream media. But none of this matters. None of it. Cameron, Miliband, Clegg, Farage, it's all just choosing different coloured turtlenecks for Karen Danchuk to wear. It doesn't matter what colour you choose, sooner or later that top is coming off, it will be thrown on the floor and rendered pointless because her tits are coming out for the camera, regardless. It's rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. If Labour get in, nothing will change. The Conservatives and Labour are two heads on the same monster. One might take a week to slowly strangle you to death, the other will just come up to you and slit your throat as soon as they see you. Either way, you're dead in the end. The first question Paxman asked surprised me. I didn't think he'd go for the jugular, but he did. Fair play to him. And it gave Cameron a chance to show just how uncaring the Conservatives really are. Sit back and have a listen and remind yourself of what the first question was.
David Cameron, do you know how many food banks there were in this country when you came to power?
I don't have the exact figures, but I know that usage of food banks has gone up, and there are many amazing volunteers who man those food banks and provide an important service.
There were 66 when you came to power, there are now 421. 900,000 people took food parcels last year, free food parcels. You talked about broken Britain and fixing it. You haven't, it's more broken now than it was.
Well, I don't accept that.
It is now, in fact, over 1 million people using food banks. Look what Cameron's government did when the figures became embarrassing for them. They scrapped them. So no wonder Cameron didn't have a clue and looked shifty as you like as he was asked about food banks. Recently we had this article appear in The Independent, just to hammer home that the Conservatives really do not give a shit about you unless you're a rich Tory pedo. As an aside, my friend Robin is a Conservative. Despite most of Cameron's policies pissing all over him and genuinely doing nothing for him, he still backs everything they do with a passion. But he also loves Hillary Clinton, so I've suggested he seeks help. But he won't. He's becoming a conservative extremist and a danger to society. I recommend MI5 spy on him. Oh, they already are. Oh, and me. Oh, and you. Oh, actually, everyone. Anyway, where was I? Yes, this article, here it is. Ian Duncan Smith refuses to meet with food bank charity about poverty, then meets with investment bankers about it instead. Ian Duncan Smith has refused to meet with Britain's biggest food bank charity for over a year, but has instead held discussions with an American investment bank about tackling child poverty. So they won't meet with the food bank charity, but they will of course meet with investment bankers to see how they can package up the use of food banks and sell that as a derivative to go towards their banker bonuses. The Conservatives are utterly vile, but as I said, Labour will be the same if they get in. We need to get our asses together, we need to get organised, and we need a new, fairer system.